Hey there, guys. We're going to be going back to the quote-unquote easy version of the magical stages for Dark Visions number 7. I went through and kind of just like blew it up with a really specific team. This video is going to be for those of you that do have Ibara, but don't have really anything else good for magical. But we're going to show that Ibara is just so crazy overpowered that she can carry these all by herself. So first of all, we're going to put Ibara. This does require Ibara's EX plus 1, by the way. So if you don't have that, this won't really work for you. But if you do have it, here's an option to deal with Golem. And then we're going to do, what's the other one? Phoenix next. So you want to build the team in the Dark team. Even though this is a Wind and Thunder boss, we're doing Dark damage. You want to build her in the Dark element team. So make sure you put her on the Dark team. So we're going to bring someone to break Spirit. Vaughn is going to do that. That's all he's going to do is break Spirit on turn 1. If you don't have Vaughn, bring someone else with your best possible Spirit break. We gave him a Dark weapon. That's going to allow him to just give us that credit. Because you got to hit the boss with a weak element up to 6 times. And because we're going to imperil the boss, Dark will count. So we gave him a Dark weapon just to give that credit. You want someone for a better Dark Imperil than her natural. Ibara imperils by 100% on her LB by itself, but Pinello gives a 130% imperil instead. If you don't have Pinello, you can use Garland, Lucius, Grimlord Sakura. They all have 130 Dark Imperils. If you don't have any of those, you can use a 120 Dark Imperil instead, and there's like 1,120 Dark Imperils. And we gave her a Dark weapon. All now that I think about it, she's going to do Dark magic anyways. That's kind of irrelevant, but whatever. And yeah, she's naked beyond that. Lunafreya is just for an LB buff. If you have Yoshikiri, he is the absolute best for this. If you don't have Yoshikiri, the next best is a whole bunch of buffers that do by 50%. Lunafreya, Rivera, Nalu's, Neovisions. There's some others as well that do 50% LB buffs, but we're using Lunafreya. Again, if you have Yoshikiri, he is definitely better. Bring him. Then we're going to bring two chainers. Not absolute. Aurora Ray is the best because that'll give you the easy chain count score. So we're bringing Diva Axstar with a Dark weapon equipped, and then Aurora Ferevia with a Dark weapon equipped. That's again going to give us credit for chaining with Dark. And then Ibara, we're not using her base form, so who cares? The vision card, if you have it, Starlight Elena's vision card is better for this. Just in case you don't have Starlight Elena, but you do have Ibara, we're going to use her own card, which is still fine. It's not as good for doing an LB build, but it's fine. And the rest of the gear, we're using either free gear or TMRs. We're not using any STMRs that, unless they were free, like the Save the Queen was a free item. But yeah, just build her for LB damage, and then killers for the race we're fighting. So Golem is a stone, so we're starting with a stone build. Dark Gambitine, Save the Queen, and then just some free gear. Her own TMR, some LB boost. Heart Overcoming Hatred is a 4-star TMR. The Mightiest is a 5-star TMR. And then Crushing Stone is a magical stone killer, was given from some event, I forget which one. So she's got Magical Stone Killer 145 and then LB damage 120. So a little bit on the low side, but we're going for like a budget run. And Ibara is so crazy, it doesn't even matter. Okay. And we're just going to turn 1 clear of this. Now you could obviously slot in like, real chainers instead of like just naked physical units, etc. But whatever. So we're going to go ahead and channeling and then Mist Darga with Pinello. That's going to imperil the boss by 130%. Vaughn will break. Lunafreya will benevolence for the LB damage boost. Axstar is going to just AR 3 times, and then Aurora Ferevia is going to AR 3 times. And if you have problems chaining Aurora Ray, you can, again, you don't have to use this team. You can just slot in a bunch of like Stardust Ray chainers or Bolting Strike chainers to get to 100 chain count. Or you can just skip the chain count mission if you just don't want to deal with it. And we're going to use Ibara's LB to cap it. And that's pretty much it. Like, Ibara is just this broken. So once her LB comes in and hits, this boss is gone. And we didn't need a triple cast AR. We could just double cast it. Whatever. 2.147 with a free-to-play geared Ibara and 5 naked units. On the wrong element. Yes, my friends, Ibara is that absurd. Okay, let's go and see if that works on Phoenix. We'll see in a second. Alright guys, now we're going to Dark Phoenix. Pretty much the exact same thing. The only difference is we changed the Esper for Bird Killer. We're doing Tetrasilphid, and we changed the gear a tiny amount. We dropped the Code Breaker and brought in Nutkin Hairpin just for some magic. Again, this is all free-to-play gear. If you've got better, like Malphase's STMR, by all means equip it. That is better here. We changed the robe to the Parameter Robe, and we changed the Killer Materia to Barbaricious Spirit for Bird Killer. So our Ibara, and then same card. Our Ibara is now rocking out with 145 bird, 100 LB damage, and the rest of the team, as you can see, has no changes whatsoever. We just swapped it around. Okay, let's pop Phoenix. Exact same thing we just did. We're going to Imperil with Pinello first, then we're going to break with Vaughn. So Pinello will Channeling, Miss Darga to do some Darkness hits. Vaughn will break, Luna Freya will buff LB damage, Aurora Freya will triple AR with Supreme Diva Axstar. And these are naked, like, physical units, so, like, they're contributing literally no damage. This is all about Ibara. And her insane Limit Burst. Her Limit Burst is just absolutely bonkers. Wait for all this to finish. Okay, so there is the easy version of the mage fights, and of course the previous two bosses, the weaker bird and the 2.14. I mean, Ibara just broken, so good. And that's the reason I didn't bring Ibara to my original clear, because I figured, like, she's so strong. What's the point? It'd be just like no point in showing that. But, yeah, so for those of you that don't have, like, all the killers and the physical chaining mages that I used on my first clear for the easy mage stages, but you do have Ibara, like, you know, game over. You win. All you need is Ibara to cap on these stages. Just bring 5 units to support her, and perfect score all the mage fights. If you don't have Ibara, check my first video, and hopefully you have some of those. Anyway, we will definitely be using Ibara again on Monday when Final Area opens. So, see you then.